Good morning, everyone. Day 2, Ignite. Welcome. My name is Puneet Kaufman. I'm a Principal Program Manager, Core Services Engineering, responsible for the Teams upgrade and voice at Microsoft.
And I'm Sarah Bush. I'm responsible for readiness in Core Services Engineering for Teams. So we're here to talk to you today about how we at Microsoft are managing this transition.
So first of all, I'm going to talk to you guys about our internal approach. We had 3 guiding principles, which is really important to talk about. When we talk about our 3 guiding principles, one was around technical readiness, making sure that when we transition to Teams that our product was ready. So we had to make sure that we had user-validated, minimal viable products. So this was around calling, chat, meetings, live events, really important for us. We also wanted to make sure that the functionality was tested at scale. So we did a lot of early adopter testing, making sure that it's ready and available for not only our internal users, but our customers like you. The second item was adoption. Our goal was really to make sure that we win the hearts and minds of our employees. This was very different from the approach that we had taken before. We've had challenges, obviously, as Microsoft, having so many products. So we wanted to make sure that these user-validated scenarios really were based on users and their training needs and our adoption strategy that we put together. We also put together a comprehensive data-driven listening strategy, which Sarah will talk to you about, as well as a globalized change management framework. And lastly, the most important, I think everyone knows, having sponsorship, right? Having global sponsorship, personalization, and enabling this. So this was really critical for us so that we could get that top level stakeholder sponsorship so we could move forward. Having said that, those 3 guiding principles led us to our journey to Microsoft Teams. As you can see here in the timeline that we've described, we had, back in March of 2017, we started onboarding users to Teams, right? So we had this environment where everybody was side by side. So they had the opportunity to use Teams as well as Skype for Business. We also, during that time, partnered with our Teams partner groups, product groups, which helped us enable and define our MVPs, right? These were the minimal viable products that we needed to make sure that we could transition from Skype to Teams. With that, back in Q1 of FY19, we met all our minimal viable products. So we started looking at upgrading to Teams. We started moving our groups and then really focused on implementing a change management process, making sure we had metrics, we had the data that we needed to ensure that we were successful as we were going through this transition. Lastly, so this is a really important thing, right? We needed to move the center of gravity and get everyone off into Teams. And how do we do that, right? We talk about value proposition. This is really important for everyone. This is something that all of you know. We can't win the hearts and minds of our users unless there's value to them, right? So how do we do that? We had to make sure that they understood this is part of our goals as far as digital transformation. We also needed to make sure that people understood Teams is part of our M365 ecosystem, right? They needed to use Teams to have modern collaboration. It was truly the hub for teamwork. So it allowed them to do chat, calling, meetings, everything in one place. As well as we have metrics that showed we could see improved productivity and less email. So this is really important.
So there are certain success factors that we recommend that people do when they're making some kind of a large change like we are. I mean, over 240,000 users, and we're moving the center of gravity, the backbone of where they work every day. So we started with with training the end user, something we dubbed the art of teamwork. And this is 2 different trainings, a level 100, which is Get productive. This is me as a brand new user to Teams, or maybe as somebody who, just played around it a little myself. How do I make it useful for me? How do I set up my notifications, favorites, and follows? What are the things that I don't know that can kind of turn down the noise inside Teams and make it easier for me to spend my day there working from that central hub? The level 200 is a step up, and it's me as a Teams owner. How do I think about creating teams and channels that are useful for all of the things that my either my organization, or more likely my dispersed team, needs to do all of their processes? What bots and connectors can I bring in? How can I really make this not only the center of gravity for my digital day, but also for my entire team? So those were the two core in-person trainings that we developed and began landing with our users. Today, we have these webinars multiple times a week in 3 time zones. So it's easy for our users to come in, and it's we talk them through the certain metrics and slides, and then we do a live demo followed by a Q&A. So it's been hugely successful. There's a little bit of data here. I have a data session later in the week, but what we found is incredible. For every one person we train, we see 6 additional people who haven't been to training, their usage, their month-over-month retention go up. So hugely important and definitely recommended. So another, clicker me, please. Another one of the success factors that we talk about is prioritizing scenarios. So what we've done is release something called the Art of Teamwork Snackable Videos. And that means that it's a video that's 5 minutes or less. And it takes a particular scenario in Teams and says, sit here for 4 minutes and you're going to learn how to do this. We've released a video on private meetings in Teams. Now, it's really kind of a new UI and a little bit of a different interface, so it's easy to walk somebody through, but maybe they feel a little disoriented when they first see it. Then we have one called Navigating in Teams. I love this one because it points out the incredible features in Teams where you can do pre-meeting work, what happens during the meeting, the chats and the notes that you can take during the meeting that are persistent, and then what happens after the meeting and how you can use that team meeting and channel for ongoing meetings. We have the top 5 things to do inside Teams. So I'm brand new to Teams. Tell me what I need to know so that I can be successful right from the get-go. And then finally, because as Pune is talking about, we're talking about to you today, we're moving an entire organization in waves over to Teams only. We have a Teams only mode. What do I just got my notification from Core Services Engineering that I'm going to Teams only. What do I expect? I'm going to go watch this video and we walk you through it. Hopefully bring your blood pressure down a little bit. Okay, let's see the next slide. My favorite. Empowering champions. This has been an incredible success for us. We didn't know this. So we started this journey and we said, 240,000 users, we need to inform them about Teams and help them and train them. And people learn in different ways. Some people like videos, some people like to read, some people like the face-to-face, like me. How do we take 10 people and do that over 240,000 users? So we came up with the champions idea. And we're like, we're going to do a pilot. We're going to reach out to some people we know who are evangelists. We'll get 50, 75 people maybe. We'll see how it goes. So 6.5 months later, we're more than 650 champions, more than 45 countries, and more than 90 Microsoft buildings because it took off like wildfire. And the fact of the matter is, the biggest thing for the champions, the biggest draw for the champions when I surveyed them is that they have each other. It's a community. We created a team. It has 4 key channels, and it has all the information that they need. We talked to them about gives and gets. The gets are these. We train them on how to deliver the L100 training and the L200 training. We give them a package of materials that has digital signage so that they can promote it in their buildings. It has a walkthrough and a OneNote about how to host the training. And then it has a templatized email at the end that they can send out to the users with all the resources. So we teach them how to do it, and over 74% of them are out there doing it. And we have metrics about the buildings that the champions are in. It's incredible. The buildings that the champions are in have the highest month-over-month retention over and over, and everybody in those buildings, we have something called the parity functions, which are chat, calling, and meetings. You know, what we're getting rid of when we move away from Skype and onto Teams. Those are all some of the highest increase. Chat's off the chart. So I highly, highly recommend champions, and give them a community that's useful to them, right? Because this is addition to their day job. We have a couple of sessions on champions. We'll do a deep dive in how to set up a champions group. So let's go to the next one. Most probably important is communicating, right? So we have marketing and communications partners that we work with in core services engineering, and multiple channels of where we get the message out. We have intranets and internal Yammer groups that we have kind of a PSA announcements that we rotate through on those. The Art of Teamwork training that I've talked to you about is on our intranet, and we update that with all those time zones and availability. So you just click a button and it adds it to your Outlook calendar. We have the champions that we talk about, not only to become a champion, but on our intranet, you can find the champion in your org, so you can reach out to them directly. And one of the other great things about champions is that they know your space, right? Even better than we do. So that's helpful. We put the snackable videos, we promote those on Yammer, and I've seen them shared and reshared and reshared. And so the truly good social usage there. We have success stories about groups inside our company, groups that have adopted teams, groups that had whole systems and scenarios that they used on other products, and they've moved it to Teams with videos so that it shows other people, you can do it too, and here's how this group used it as a successful product. And then there's a whole space around meeting rooms. Microsoft, how many meeting rooms do we have?
Over 14,000.
Over 14,000 meeting rooms. So we've got a whole page about what you can expect in a meeting room, how you have a Teams meeting in them, and then we have digital and physical signage in the rooms. We then also have digital and physical signage inside the buildings themselves just about Teams. So the more you can communicate, the better. And still people are like, wait, what's Teams? you just have to, you can't over-promote. So let's go to the next one. Okay, very important. Another success factor, aligning across how to get your users help and where they're going to reach out. We partner very closely with our help desk. We train them. We work with them for their own processes in Teams. And then we embed them in our war rooms and our stand-ups and all of the things that we do as we go through this. So they're totally apprised of what's happening when, and then we can check in on these regular basis to find out if there's any noise in the system or anything that's happening. I mean, it's key to our entire rollout plan, partnering with them, and also to helping our end users. We monitor Yammer groups in core services engineering, as does the PG, as do the champions. So people have learned, you go to the Teams Yammer if you need anything, because somebody's going to be on there looking for you. And user voice feedback. We have an internal user voice specific to Teams, so they can access that online or through the Teams app. And we look at that with the PG to see what to prioritize and what people are asking for. And we, in fact, talk about those things on our monthly champions calls with the PG and influence the needs. It's super cool. And then there's an intranet blog for those who are interested. Where are we at in the transition? What's happening next? We keep that up to date so people are in the know. So those are just several of the ways that we're trying to wrap our arms around this thing and bring people along on the journey.
Thank you, Sarah. So as Sarah mentioned, we have all these success factors that are in play. We also needed to make sure, as well as that, we have this organizational adoption team model in place. So what does that entail? That goes back to one of our guiding principles that's around having executive sponsorship, right? Having stakeholder sponsorship, having a primary change agent.
And that stakeholder sponsorship, we found that that's the number one thing to move people over. If you can get your stakeholders to start using Teams, because people want to hear what they have to say and what they're doing, they'll move over. The other key group, I will say, are the administrative assistants or the business managers that take care of things, because if they're operating over there, it pulls everybody else along.
Yep, absolutely. And we actually had two strategies around that, just so you guys know. One was making sure that the executive admins, we did a pilot with them. We actually started training. Sarah and I went and trained groups of executive admins together to make sure that they felt comfortable and they were able to support their executives. We felt that having that buy-in from them and making them comfortable with the process and the application allowed us to move faster. In addition, as Sarah was saying about the org emails, the sponsorship, we also had our org leaders create sponsors, send letters out from their groups to their orgs saying, hey, this is our initiative. We're moving to teams. We need your support. Writing out the benefits, telling their organizations. We felt that when it comes from the org leaders, it was very important. It was more likely to be read versus coming from a random email from us, right?
So we give them random emails from us too, just to be clear.
We get lots of those. So those were really important for us, as well as one of the things that we did, I think some of you that were in the sessions before, is that, we don't have a huge team. So we had to rely on our champions. We had to rely on business partners. We had to identify people in the organizations that became our business partners and that we communicated with, gave them the information they needed, and they could go represent us across the organizations, give them the updates of what's happening, what the timelines are, what are the remaining issues, and how we're moving forward. So that was a really key part, as well as the last piece is having this worldwide core landing teams, right? We're a huge global company, as many of you know. And so how do we reach out globally? It becomes really, really important for us. So we had to go to our IT managers. We had to go to our global support desk. We had to train everyone in these organizations, participate with them and bring them into the know, make sure they're informed, and make sure they can communicate out, and they became a part of the global team. So they didn't report to us. We couldn't expand our team, but they were an extended V team for us that helped us communicate the message out. So having these core components allowed us to really have the sponsorship, get the information out, and then having the success factors to roll out, our information on our team's upgrade. Now, we're going to be doing lots more sessions this week, deep dives into adoption, deep dives into our champions programs, about the leaderboards that we built, measuring more adoption. So please, join us if you're interested. Tomorrow, we're going to really talk about, our whole team's going to be representing the team's upgrade journey. We have a breakout session. So, and there's plenty of sessions. You guys can also come see us at the team's booth, and we'll be happy to walk you through and give you guys demos. These are some of the resource sheets that are available to you. So please tap into these. We have different communities here that have all the technical resources that you need to succeed in your team's migrations. I'll let you guys take pictures. These will also be all available on the portal. And then lastly, making sure you guys are all aware about our diversity in tech at Microsoft Ignite this year. Really important for us. And just giving us feedback. We'd love your feedback to make sure that we can improve. But with that, I think we got a couple minutes. We could ask a couple of questions, or we can also take questions on the side. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. How does your team champion programs fit with the global adoption program of O365?
Yeah, absolutely. So ours is an internal champions program, but we partner very closely with Caruana Gatimu, who runs the O365 All Up Champions. And in fact, right now, there's a champions meetup for internal and external champions. So we, partner on the different monthly calls, and we take best practices back and forth across. We're representing an enterprise trying to do this, so we give them feedback on our program too.
You have different champions. There's some champions for team champion, and there's also O365 champion on SharePoint or on.
So for us and the work that we're doing, it's a perfect question. We call them the Teamwork Champions, and right now they're focused on Teams. This is really about getting us migrated onto Teams completely and away from Skype for Business, getting that baseline. And the hope is, going forward, then because Teams is so rich and so tied into all the O365 products, then we can get more specific outside of that. We hope that it will grow.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. If you guys have any more questions, please come see us. Have a great time at Ignite.
That's right. Thank you.